Hello everybody, this is a story of one of my old boats, a Micro Plus 507, just a day cabin cruiser it started off as. And as you can see, we're out in here, it's just a normal day, 2 engines, small cabin boat, used to launch it every week, and we fished with her for many a day on the south coast. And then one day we as I say, she started off just an old microplane. One day we found out there was good cod to be had at the River Severn, and we were moving up there. So she was done as well here until we went up the River Severn. And then, as you see, we had some good fishing off of her down the south coast. No cod though, sorry to say. But anyway, when we moved up to the River Severn, she wasn't big enough for what we wanted. There's room on the bank for 2 of us, me and Tony, but up here now we're near home and we don't have mates going out with us. So we wanted to make enough room so at least 4, 5 or 6 of us could fish off the back of her. But we liked the cabin, so we didn't want to lose the cabin. The other alternative was to cut the cabin roof off. Yeah, not, as I say, not much room on the back. Cut the cabin roof off and put a canvas over it. So as if we were just 2 of us, or if it was raining, we still leave the canvas over and still have the cabin. Anyway, here she is on the drive. I brought her home to do some alterations to her. At that point she was just a normal Micro Plus, I think. Cabin, small, 17 foot. Just a normal day boat. That she'd been out, the last great event she had, we were out in the regatta down West Bay, and they called the regatta off, or they were going to, and we talked them into putting it back on. And that day we was one of the first boats to go out, even though it was rough, and we led the way, and all the other small boats followed us. We had to sit out there for an hour and a half with the engines running because it was that rough we couldn't cut the engines. Yeah, we made the pages of the magazines that day. There was a fantastic picture of us on one of the pages of us jumping up in the air and flying off the top of a wave. It was a really nice photo. I think Tony kept the magazine, but I don't know where it is to this day. There's all the tourmen, the fishermen used to go out. But anyway, this is the life of the boat and how it got altered. As I say, that was down on the south coast and we had some good times down there. Cabin, as I say, we didn't want to lose it. You could sit in there out the wind and the rain, and you could fish in all winds and rain. You could both sit in there and look out the back and see your rods. Yeah, and we didn't want to lose the cabin space, as I already said. I hope you don't mind me repeating myself, but it's hard making these videos when you've made the video and then you've got to talk over the top. But there she is, it's a good old boat. And as I say, she used to pop on with 2 engines. There's Tony. We used to smoke in them days. Tony still does. Yeah, we used to have some good times down the south coast. It was a long way to go though. We used to tow her down every weekend. Stay in a campsite down there with the ladies. We had, I used to have a big camper then. Anyway, we're ready for the river. We're going to end up keeping her at the river. So home she come in. She's been in the river. And we've been cod fishing, and now we want more room. So off come the cabin, as I said. The windscreen was left. We did a bit of reinforcing on that, as I say. And that meant now you have room inside for 4 more people to fish. There's the back of her still. You can look in through the back door. Now the back of the cabin is still exactly where it started. Later on in the life of this boat, you'll see it all gets cut off and moved forward. But there she is now. There's a little hand railing fitted. And sorry to say, the order I'm reviewing all these old DVDs, I've just got to put it on as I have. I did make a cover, but I'll show you that later in the video. There's 2 small little cabins now, just for making the tea in, and the other side's got the wash bowl in for washing your hands. Because the bait is messy on your hands and you need to keep your hands clean when you're out fishing. There's the back of her, as I say. Just all the controls and everything, nothing's altered. The engine's still the same. There's a cabin been put in, a cover been put in the front now for the anchor bay. For the anchor to go in. And we need a big anchor down the River Severn, take it from me. Lots of chain and 5 or 6 times the length of chain to what you've got depth of water. But that's another story, lifting the boy in on the River Severn. But But as I say, there she is, all cut about and looking nice. It's all ready to go, I think, at this point. So back down the river, here we are, taking her out. We're on one of our trips now. And as you can see, Slim, he's got a big boy. He's sat in the back. The kettle's still in the two little cupboards. And Tony's in the cabin, or what used to be the cabin. It's now an open air cabin. The canvas is rolled over off the back. But we did fish that with 4 and 5 of us on there. Yeah, and like that she went in the River Severn and we had some good fishing off of her. Later days I'll have to show some of the cod fishing we did. We caught some lovely cod out there. These bits of film now are just bits to show how she was used in the evolution of her life. That day I remember cussing. I brought more tea on the tabletop than what I put in the cups. But the old Microplus was a lovely boat. It could handle some waves. We'd been out in one of them in 8-foot waves surfing the waves with her with a 20 horsepower engine on the back. Some lovely skylines on the night time when the sun goes down. There's the boat now, back on the drive with the canvas fitted. As I say, we used to bring her home from every trip. But now the canvas is fitted, you don't have to take it off and you can go out with her, 2 of you, and still have a cabin basically. That's inside the cabin. And that's in the locker bay. That's without the seats and covers in there. And that's with the canvas, there's the canvas over the top. All those canvases I make myself. I got my own sewing machine, old Singer. And I've made everything from hang gliding cells to bloody sleeping bags to covers for boats. But there she is, converted. She stayed like that for a while, 2 engines on the back, but well, things went downhill. People didn't want to go out so much because the river is rough and the winter come, and so we ended up dropping the cabin forward, and you'll see the next evolution of her. She was lovely like that though. It was nice, just a novelty boat to play with. And we had some good sailing in her. There she is, sat on a drive complete. That was a lovely trailer that come with her, brand new when we got it. Here we are out one day waiting to go in the lock. Sorry I spelled lock wrong, I'm terrible at spelling. This is in the lock. The water's got a rise on 30 and 40 foot to allow you to go in and out of the dock. This day I was going out on my own and I had a nice day trip, you know, fishing in her. There I am racing down the river now. She used to pop on and the fishing was good and everything was good about being out there. This is the River Severn now. Hell of a tide out there. Yeah, I had some good times on that old boat. On my own and with other people. I used to enjoy going out on my own. I do like being company. There's the engine going. And she's popping on down to Lady Bay. I think I was going that day. I think there's about 2 other boats out. And this is without the engines running. This is anchored up just off Lady Bay. And you can see the speed of the tide. 14, 15 knots. Some days it goes up to 16 knots. And you need to know how to anchor up out there. And you need to know how to get the anchor back up. But like I was saying earlier, that's another story. Anyway, that's how Magic 2 started life. This is coming back in on the marina, nice and safe. That's how she started life. I will next video I'll show you how she got altered again and had the cabin move forward. And then in part 3 she has an inboard engine fitted. Thanks for watching. Pete out for now. Hello everyone, this is a series on one of my old boats. It started off, sorry, we're going to Scotland.